everybody, John Crable with My Small Business Blueprint here. Earlier this week I talked about this concept of social capital. We're running through it with some clients right now, and as I was going through and doing some planning and doing some research, really wanted to hit on it again. And I don't think it's worth a text or a written out explanation. I wanted you to hear my explanation of social capital, why I believe it's important, especially with small businesses, no matter where you go. So first, just let's define social capital. And if you go out and Google Harvard Kennedy School and then about social capital, you'll be able to find this page pretty easily. But I wanted to emphasize a couple of things, right? So first of all, social capital is not social media. It's not necessarily networking. It's going to be more than that. There's going to be some more features versus benefits, that emotional component of what social capital is really looking for. If you look at how Robert Putnam, professor at Harvard, I believe, defines social capital, he's going to talk about information flows, going both ways. He's going to talk about reciprocity. And from that standpoint, it's not just what can I get from someone else, it's how can I help that person, and how can we establish that mutually beneficial relationship. When we look at this, collective action depends on social networks. So I think from that standpoint, we can look at who the closest people we have to us, whether they are friends or family or business associates. It's going to take on more of an effort than just a single person here and a single person there. And that really brings us to the last part, right? It's transforming this I can do it by myself mentality into into a community-based approach to social capital. And so when I work with people, obviously I want them to define social capital for themselves, but I also think it comes back to how I personally define it and how I amplify or activate this in my own life. So I look at it as two things. The first question I ask myself is, who can I help, right? And so this speaks to the reciprocity issue, but it also speaks to a more longer-term, trust-related approach to running a business. Who can I help? And yes, you may get some things back from them, but I think the more important part to it is being proactive and being cognizant of your place in the community. And then the second part to this is you really need to focus on authentic ways to build trust. Obviously, reciprocity and social networking and things like that are developed with trust. People come back to your product or they continue to work with your service based upon a certain level of trust that they have in you. And this is extremely true in the case of small businesses, where price may not be the determining factor, but it does come back to that relationship. So all of these concepts that we have going on with social capital, and then I had the opportunity to read this article in the Metropreneur in the past couple days. Urban Farms launches Veggie Box program, aims to surpass 40,000 pounds of produce in 2017. So again, if you need to find this article, I'll blast it out as well, but it's the Metropreneur, and I believe it came out 4 days ago, on April 7th. And it's a really great article, and obviously, we see some radishes and beets and things like that right there. But then in the past couple weeks, I've planted my garden. We've started seedlings for tomatoes and peppers and even sunflowers inside. And so I love this concept of how different group and organizations can go out and hit so many more stakeholders when they take this social capital approach. And I'll let you read through the guts of what this article is really meant to do. But I think as we sit here, we're going to start to notice all the different pieces and parts of that we mentality, that community mentality. And obviously this was started in 2012 by Mid-Ohio Food Bank. Social enterprise opportunities, right? It goes back to that social concept. But it's also going to start pulling in all these other key pieces and parts. And so as you flip through the article, community engagement, it's really trying to get out there. We see on-the-job training and education, internships that these farms have, really accelerating that knowledge process, that trust process. And obviously they go into some of the measuring of impact and to see how well they are doing at building those relationships. But I think as we start to see the momentum that these opportunities provide, we can see that they're working. And yes, we do have to put the analytics and the metrics behind it, but we also have to go back to that trust and that concept of helping the community, that we mentality that we get with social capital. I also just wanted to promote something really quickly, the Veggie Box program that they're doing. So in 2017, they're offering 70 memberships for fresh delivery, obviously with their demand. But they have 2 farms located here in town. I believe one's in Groveport and the other is going to be out in Franklinton or the Hilltop around there. And so if you're out there, if you believe in local farming and local produce and getting the best types of foods for you and your family, really consider looking at this Veggie Box program. I think it's a great opportunity. And going back to social capital, it brings so many more people into the conversation. It starts a new conversation among groups and networks that maybe weren't having it before. And as always, it's really going back to that community. It's going back to Mid Ohio Food Bank. It's going back to people that may need training, food, whatever it might be. So check it out. Check out the Metropreneur. Check out Urban Farms. And as always, find out how you can help people. Find out, just ask that simple question of how you can help today. I bet you'd be surprised at what the answers are. Thanks for your time today, guys. Bye-bye.